holding Microsoft and AWS certifications. He has worked with Azure, CI/CD pipelines, virtualization, and cloud security. Currently, he's working at QBA, helping businesses improve their cloud infrastructure. Hello, sir. Uh,
Sorry. Hi. Hi.
yeah.
Good evening, everyone. So this is sort of as just she has introduced myself. So I have 7 years of experience in this technological field, and I have come to cloud very like in short span. I could say that is on 2 years back, and I did my certifications from the Microsoft, then the AWS, then the GCP, and I have plenty of certifications. So although I will not like waste of time on these things, I will just come along with the actual thing what we are here to actually discuss out here. So basically, I hope like most of the people are aware of cloud, right? So you can use the chat box to prompt me, whosoever is like having some knowledge on the cloud or anything. All right. So chat box looks very silent. Let me open my PowerPoint for you all. I have prepared a small PowerPoint. I don't know much on it. So basically, cloud computing is nothing but what we say the all the technological things like if whenever we have some developer team or we have some server team or we have some resources that is to be hosted for a project, we mostly now use the cloud. In previous days, we used to have a local or the on-premises solution. Like we have a office, we have different set of office like in Pune, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, and so on. They have some set of data centers where the multiple servers are hosted, and that multiple servers are being hosted with the VMware, Hyper-V, or the KVM, or lot of things are there. So by that, they have a connectivity which each of the companies or the each of the branch offices via their LAN, WAN, what do you say? This is the on-premises solution which has costed a lot. There were so many problems that you have to maintain the data center. You have to take care of the hardware portions. If you buy something, so it will be a your capital expenditure. So when the cloud has introduced, so people has saw there's a gradual cost impact. There's a first impact is the capex and the opex. Capex is capital expenditure and opex is the operational expenditure. When we purchase something, we put a lot of money for a one-time investments. That's we say capex. But when we say on the cloud that if I use these things, I will pay you this much of amount. I will not pay the entire cost for the entire solution. I will pay you this much of amount for 1 hour, 2 hour, 1 day, 1 year, whatever the time span we want to use, or the SKU or like the unit, the type of unit we want to use, we will pay only for that. That is the first major difference or the advantage we get in the cloud. So cloud computing is nothing but a ready-made solution for your infrastructure, which we were used to host on our local companies. Now we are getting on the cloud. If I go to the cloud, the multiple things are ready-made out there. Like suppose I want to host a website. So in Azure, if I say I mostly work with Azure, there's an app services ready-made for you. Go to the Azure App Service or the static web or the storage solution, you will get to host your website. It's done. If you have a complex application where you need some, what is this, the load balancing, the high availability, so come to the VM solution. Or if you have some containerization solution, so come to ACS, Azure Container Service, or in AWS, there is a Elastic Container Services. If you are very good with Kubernetes, so come with the Kubernetes solution. In AWS, it is Elastic Kubernetes Services. In Azure, it is Azure Kubernetes Services. So there's a lot of easy solutions are there. You don't have to do any hard coding things. You don't have to do anything installation. These are pre-built or pre-ready solution for you. That is, in short, is cloud. I hope like you guys can understand. And if you have any questions, so put down on the chat so I can like check it out. So coming back to the importance of cloud, as I already mentioned, why we require cloud? Because the major thing is the cost. Second important thing is the high availability, because sometimes if you have suppose a e-commerce website, now the multiple people will come around from the different regions, different countries, different sources, different areas. But if I have a like website on my on premises, then I have to have some 3 4 offices so that they can cater these things, they cater the bandwidth. But if I have a cloud, I would have a edge solution, edge computing, where say suppose I am from Kolkata and I'm browsing up flipkart.com. So Flipkart will serve me from the my nearest location. Suppose Flipkart has a server on Kolkata. So all the things will be served from Kolkata. Suppose you are on Mumbai and you are opening the Amazon.com. So you will be served from Mumbai server. So that's what the advantages of the cloud computing. These are the major things. And in terms of technological things like being an engineer or being a technical terms, if I say, you don't have to install anything. So suppose you need a Grafana. What we do, we go to the Linux, we install the Grafana, we set up the database where we want to collect the logs, where we want to store the logs. We have to like ready the dashboard and everything. But in cloud, pay the money, you get the solution. You don't have to install, you don't have to maintain any VM. You just go purchase the software and it is ready made for you. You get a URL, you just get a login password and get it into it. That's all. These are the like advantages of it. And if I say about the major cloud providers, currently we have a AWS, which is Amazon Web Services, the Azure, and the GCP. These three are the major cloud. I will just walk you through some cloud architecture. So let me just log into the first Azure, so that this is one of my familiar thing. So this is my company. What is this? Azure here. So here, if you see, if I go to the all the services or the create resource, you see the plenty of services are here. Like if you are going with the AI and machine learning, so these are the all the solutions are there. If you have to go with the analytics or databases or the container or the DevOps, all the things are here on Azure. While I always prefer Azure at my side, because suppose suppose you are going to the compute one. So you get option for the container. It's easy to understand it's a container thing. Okay, fine. If I go to the suppose virtual machine, so what I write the virtual machine. So I got to know it's virtual machines. It's a virtual network. It's easy to understand. It is very easy. But if I go to the AWS, it is something different. Yes, you have to learn a little the basic. Otherwise, you will not be able to come with AWS, because AWS doesn't offer you that easy solutions. Let me just log in for you as well. So on AWS, VM says EC2. So if I go to the EC2, so it is the VM where you host your VMs. If suppose I have a storage, I have to buy some storage, so I will go to S3. While in Azure, it is storage account. The naming constructions is easy on the Azure side, while AWS has a like different naming convention, you can say. So whosoever is want to start their career in cloud and want to learn cloud from the very start, I would rather, my personal suggestion would say, go for Azure first, because its naming convention is very easy, UI is much easy. While AWS looks little tricky for me, I don't know for others, but it looks little tricky for me because say suppose I'm coming here and if I go to the EC2 global view, so I get to know what are the services I have purchased or I have deployed till now. I get to see all those things. See, these are the things I have deployed. Although it will not cover you all those things. But in Azure, if you go to the all resources or if you can search, so here you can see all the resources whichever is stored here. Fine. So that's the thing differences between the Azure and AWS. So let me just check if so AZ900 from where to prepare resources. Sure. So for AZ900, just on Google search AZ900 T00. For every Microsoft certification, always add the T00 at the end for any of your exam code. Say suppose you want to go for the AZ104, then add T00. You will get it. So this provides the entire what is this, the syllabus or the resources to learn. This is the actual best thing I suggest as my personal recommendation because when my certification time I have did my certification, I used to mostly work with the this learn.microsoft.com and along with this T00 code. This is the best resource to learn. Then you can come with the dumps and etc. So this is what the basics of cloud, how you can learn. And if you want to learn the AWS, yes, I would definitely suggest come to AWS Skill Builder. Here you will get plenty of courses, and one of the like advantage or the important part is that you can gain some credly badges which you can add in your CV as well. If I show you some of the badges, so you can gain it from AWS Skill Builder, but Microsoft doesn't offer to at today's date any badges for now. Okay, so see, these are the badges you can get. These are the badges you can get. Fine. And if your company is a partner of the AWS, so you can get this technical partner and these things. And for the AWS Educate is also there here. And it is one of the best part if you want to go with some certification, you will get 50% voucher for the AWS examination for associate level and the fundamentals level. So if I show you the rewards part, see, for fundamental is a 50% voucher is there. For associate examination, the 50% voucher is there. Which exam covers? Here covers the developer associate, CSOPs administrator, data engineer, machine learning associate, solution architect, and etc. If you want to learn something, so go to the courses and labs. Here you can get the all the courses. And even if you complete any of these things, you will get a Redley badges as well, which you can add on your CV. So if you have any questions till now, guys, so please put it on chat. Or if you feel boring, if you think there's some thrilling is needed or anything you can suggest me, so put it on chat. I will definitely happy to take it up. So let me check. Can you share the link of this? All right, sure. So for the AWS Educate, you can like go to here and for AC900 T00, you can definitely search this code. Rather, I'm not giving any link because this is the format for any of the course for Azure. So you can use this format for like AZ104, AZ305, okay, AZ400, 204. Just change this, and this will be dimension. This is a language code for T00 is a basically English. Okay, and for AWS Skill Builder, I will put the link out here as well. So this is the AWS Skill Builder link. Fine, coming back. And how to log into AWS? Sorry, I missed out. So you have to go to the console.aws.amazon.com. There will be get to access to your account. If you don't have any account, you have to create your account with your debit card or the credit card, and you will get 1 year of subscription that is free of cost with maybe some free tier applicability. So if you search the free tier AWS, so you will get to know more about it. So here it says the 12 months is a free, and some free trials are there, so you can use those. Like the ACTO is the 750 hours, S3 is the 5 GB, RDS is the 750, and so on. These are the things you can grab on for the free trials. And Azure have 14,200 rupees in Indian currency, or in US currency, they provide $200 for 1 month only. Azure is very lesser on it, while AWS has a very good in it. But Azure have a different thing. If you go to the free these services on here on the top, you will get to know what are the things you will get for 12 months free. The first 12 months free, if you create from here only. If you create from here only, you will get the 12 months of free services. And these are the monthly limits. That is for lifetime. These limits resets on your month to month. Say suppose you have created a function application and you have used suppose 90,000 seconds or did sorry request. Now on the next month it will be coming again the 10 lakh. Fine. So it resets on the month to month. So these all are the free services you can grab from Azure. All right. So moving forward to my slide. So here I have written what are the career opportunities in cloud. So first is cloud engineer, the cloud architect, security engineer, DevOps engineer, site reliability engineer, and the cloud developer. So if I say in my current role, I mostly work as a DevOps engineer and a cloud engineer. If I say my day-to-day activities, we use Azure DevOps for our pipelines, for our repos. In different companies, you might see they use GitHub Actions, they use GitLab, they use different things. Okay. When coming to the cloud engineer basically operates the cloud services which are taken by your company, where you basically work on the pre-built services, which we can also say the cloud native application. So basically, you work on that. Say, suppose you got a developer team and they are saying that we want to test a web application. So please help me to create a website. So you say, all right, so give me the content. I will upload that to the web application and I will create a web app for you. So what we do then, we go to the web app on the Azure. Okay. Say suppose like, let me just switch to my personal Azure. Just allow me 1 second. So suppose some developer is saying that I want to run an application. So please help me on that. So what I will go on Azure, I will go to the app service. I will create a web app for them and I will create a source where the code is there. I can choose the runtime stack from here. It is a Java, it's a .NET, it is a Node, whatever it is. So you can select from here. I will just go with the created one, so that I can show you all those things. So basically, once you create these things, you have to like attach the where your code is sourced from. So on the deployment center, if I show you, so we have a GitHub where if we choose GitHub, so GitHub will automatically create a GitHub action on behalf of you. It will build the code, it will deploy the code, it will test the code if there is any test cases are there. So then it will be an automated thing, which we say CI/CD, the continuous integration, continuous deployment. Then it comes the Bitbucket. Bitbucket is from, we say, the Jira and these things you might have heard. So Bitbucket is one of the source code control thing like Git. And the local Git is something where suppose you do not have any GitHub repository, you do not have any Bitbucket repository, or you do not have any other repositories. So you can use your computer as a repository, and you can directly push the code from your computer to directly to Azure App Services without any intermediate solution. So you can use the local Git. And if you think that I want to go with the Azure repos, that is the Azure DevOps, so you will choose the Azure repos. And if you have an external Git solution, so you can choose the external Git solution. That will be a manual thing. Then you have to push that to here. So it will then push the code to your app service. Fine. So suppose if you might have worked with the developer solution or anything, say suppose I'm using a Python application, but we type Python hyphen aim, the application name, space, you can define the port number. If it is not, so you just hit an enter and your application runs on. But how happens here? So if you go to the configuration out here, here you have a startup command where you have to put the startup things. That whenever my application gets restarted or started for the first time, please use the startup command so that I can run my application or my application can run automatically. So that happens here. And these are the things basically being managed by cloud engineer. And DevOps engineer mostly work with the pipelines, mostly work with the how we can secure, optimize the pipelines, how we can deploy the containerized solution, like we say the Docker, like we say the Kubernetes, how we can deploy the pods. These are the things. Then the you have some deployment strategies, the blue green deployment strategy, canary deployment strategies. These are the things. So you can like learn more on this on the YouTube, on ChatGPT. You can ask multiple questions to ChatGPT. If you have any question, just ask. Just ask everything, whatever you have. I would personally suggest what you can do, like go to the chat GPT, what I do basically. I have some, see, different topics on that. Okay. So if you have any topic particularly, say suppose I have a topic on Docker. Okay. And I have multiple questions on Docker. So what I come here on this and I put all my questions out here and it answers me back. Okay. So such that you create a particular chat where you can put all your questions and based on those particular topic you will get the answer. Ask ask to ChatGPT is your best friend. You will get to know more and more and more, which I also don't know, or you might also don't know. Just go and ask. So that is the most important thing. If you ask, so you can learn more. Coming back here, the cloud architect. When you become architect, mostly what happens, you don't have to work on the technical ground mostly. Well, you have to work on the drawing side, on the architecture side, that how things will be deployed, how things will be maintained, how things should be strategized. That okay, here we need a high availability, here we need a load balancer, here we need a CDN service, such that we architect a design. If you want to architect a design, my personal suggestion would be come to draw.io. This is the one of the best website I have ever seen. Create a new diagram, click a blank, create. Let's download it on my computer. And here it is. Suppose I want to create a very basic thing, very basic. Suppose I have a Git. Say, suppose this is my Git. I want to push a code to my Azure repo. So this is the Azure repo icon. And then the things, I will just create a Azure pipeline. Here is the Azure pipeline. And suppose I want to put this on Azure VM. Fine. So what happens here? I push the code to my this. From here, I push this. And from here, I push it here. So you can easily create a simple diagram, and it you don't have to pay anything, any cost. Just go to the file. You can export whatever your needed extension. It is a PNG, JPG, SVG. If suppose you can go with the BSDS, BSD is nothing but your VGO. If you are on a paid side, most company has a paid side. Microsoft Visio is there as well, so you can use that Microsoft Visio as well. See, this is the Visio where we create the diagrams. Right? Coming back to the security engineer. So security engineer, they are mostly inclined to the security. Like we have a IAM, identity and access management. Then we have a EDR, endpoint detection response or something. Then XDR, extended detections. Then we have suppose SIEM tool. Then we have suppose the code security. Okay, vulnerability assessment test, the which say VAPT, vulnerability assessment and the penetration testing. All those things are being performed by the cloud security engineer. So if I show you the cloud security part, so we have the Azure Sentinel. On Azure, you have Azure Sentinel, which basically helps you to gather the logs, analyze your logs, and protect you from the security. Another we have is Defender. So here we have a Defender which will help you from the security part. Okay, so these are the things mostly people work with the security. Yes, security team has a very greater salary, okay, than the Azure, sorry, cloud engineer and the DevOps. Okay, because they like have to study mostly. They have to work on the any holidays as well, while we don't have to. Okay, and we are something, when something is wrong, then go work on a weekends, otherwise your weekends are free. Okay, that happens. For the DevOps engineer, if I say so, as I mentioned, the DevOps engineer mostly work with the entire development progress, or some companies says that you have to also program or the code. You have to automate the solution. This is the one of the major thing for the DevOps. Like we have Ansible, we have the Terraform. If I say the particular cloud to cloud solution, on AWS we say cloud formation, on Azure we say it's a ARM template. Now Azure also provides you the Terraform code as well. Terraform is like on a JSON it is written on. You can easily learn if you put some time. You can easily learn on it. So basically, DevOps works on the solution to automate. If you want to become DevOps engineer, if you want to become cloud engineer, my first suggestion is first learn Linux. Linux is your heart, soul, everything. Because unless you know Linux, you will not be a good cloud engineer or DevOps engineer, because Linux is everything out here. Okay, although Windows is also needed, but Linux is your first preference, because most applications like Jenkins, GitLab, the GitHub, or like whatever applications are there, tools are there, Docker, etc. All mostly works with Linux. Coming back to the SRE or the site site reliability engineer mostly work with the monitoring solution. Like they have a Jabix. I used to work with the Jabix. Then Site 24/7 I used to work. So most people, or the company which have like in a premium solution, they use Datadog. They use ELK solution, Elastic Log and Kibana solution. They like use maybe Grafana. They can use Prometheus or the Grafana both at a time. So different company has a different solution. For the site reliability engineer, they mostly monitor where is the error, where is the warning. They mostly work on that, while DevOps engineer directly work on the technical ground. So our preference would be go with the DevOps engineer or the cloud engineer or the cloud security engineer. And if you are very code savvy, if you think I am very good in programming or I love coding, so come with the cloud developer solution where you have to work with the Azure function, or we say serverless solution. In AWS, we have Lambda, okay, and you can also work with the S3 with the like how we can deploy the files from your application to the storage solution, how you can automate those things, how you can write a better pipeline as well. Sometimes developer also has to write some pipeline scripts, how you can like optimize your API management. We have a API gateway, how you can deploy the application in different architecture. These are the work for the cloud developer, which in sorry, Azure we have a certification that we say AZ 204 develop for developers. For cloud engineer in Azure, it is AZ 104 or the Azure administrator. In AWS, it is solution architect associate or SysOps administrator associate. In GCP, it is associate cloud engineer. For our cloud architect in Azure, cloud solution architect expert is there, which is AZ305. For AWS, it is solution architect um, expert, I believe, solution professional, sorry, professional, AWS solution architect professional. And for the GCP, again, same, this like professional cloud architect. For the cloud security engineer, in Azure, we have a AZ500, which is Azure security engineer. In AWS, it is there a specialty examination, AWS security specialty examination is there, and same goes to the uh, what is it, GCP. For DevOps engineer, we have a Azure AZ400 for the Azure DevOps engineer, and on AWS, it is, I believe, there is also specialties there for the DevOps, and the same goes to GCP. There is expert examination. Site reliability engineer doesn't have any particular certification for site reliability. It goes with DevOps only. And the cloud developer, as I mentioned, for the Azure, it is AZ204. For the AWS, it is AWS developer associate, and the same goes to GCP. There is has a developer associate. All right. So if you have any questions regarding the certifications and all anything, so you can definitely ask me. These are the like skills we have to maintain or we can carry for our cloud. As I mentioned, one of the major important thing is networking. If you do not know about the networking, then you will surely face a lot of challenges. Say suppose you have two virtual machines in two different network. Okay, say suppose one is in 172.16.0.0/16 network, and another is the, say suppose 192.168.1.0/24. So these are the different network architecture. When this you have to connect with both of them, how you are going to do that? This is the thing where you can learn the networks. If you don't know the networks, and if I say the solution of peering, you just peer the both the networks, so you will done. So but you don't know what is that /24, what is that /16. So before that we must know need to know what is networking. So on AWS, we say it is VPC, Virtual Private Cloud. On Azure, it is say the virtual network, and same goes to the GCP. Then the load balancer and the DNS are there. How DNS works, how load balancer work on that. Then the compute solution is there, the VM. We most people know what VM is. Container is nothing but a Docker container, we mostly say, or we mostly know about. Then Kubernetes is an advanced solution for the containers where we can manage the auto healing solution, where we can manage the high availability and so on. We have a solution for the storage. We have a object storage. In Azure, we say blob storage, which is object storage. Then there is a file sharing. If you work on some companies, what we do, double backslash, but the IP and the slash share name, that comes the file share. So on cloud, you will also get the file share as well. For the sorry, but for Windows is a different, and for the Linux it is different. On Linux, we on the on-premises solution we say Samba server. Okay, so we create a Samba server, we share the files. Currently, it is NFS is there, network file share on Linux. On Windows, it is file share, Windows file share. You can say, so it works. On the security, we have a IAM, which is we say the identity and access management. Encryption, most company work with the, you can say, encryption security in terms of the key storage. Like we have a password, we have some credentials, we have some SSL certificate, we have to store that. In Azure, we use the Azure Key Vault. Okay, so you can like use that as well. And the zero trust, one of the major thing, that when you come to security, you don't know anyone, you don't recognize anyone unless they prove themselves. That's what we require always, and we always like follow that practice as well in our company, that oh, you know me, okay, I will give you the access. No, every request should have a incident or the request management on your ticket. Everything should have been on a ticket. Everything should be on a mail that okay, there is an approval or there is some mechanism whatever you follow at your company. Everything must be documented on the security terms. Whatever you do on the other side, that will not impact that much, but in terms of security it will impact us so much. For the infrastructure as a code, which is a like automation thing, on the Terraform, cloud formation, and the ARM template, we code to create the cloud app things on the ready to go. And the last thing is the DevOps tools, the CI/CD, the Git, the Jenkins, the Ansible. So CI/CD is nothing but, if I say it very briefly, say suppose most people have learned C++ in earlier days, I believe. What we do, we write the code, we click on a play button, there's a play button is there, and it's like something is rounding, a circle is rounding, and then we get a .exe file, and we get to know hello world this comes up. What happens at that? So whenever we write the code, we click on the play button or the compile button. What happens on the back end? The computer translate that code for the computer so that computer can know what we have actually written for it, so that it can display the result. Same goes to the pipeline. Whenever we have already like write up the code and we have uploaded that code to the repository, and the pipeline pulls up that code, understand okay, this is a code, now I understood this is a node. Okay, so what I have to do, in node there is a package.json file which contains all the add-ons which I have to install, or the modules that I have to install, so that this application can run on. What pipeline will do, or we have to write npm install, so that we can install all the packages written on package.json. Then what we say, okay, once it is installed, please run a test. So npm run test. So if there is some test cases out right there, so it will run the test. All right, pipeline says now it's done by my side, I will try to run it up for you at my instance. If it's working, then good. If it is not working, I will give you a failure code. So it will, we will say npm run build. So it will build a thing, and if I say like npm start, so it will start the code. Now what happens? The pipeline will check everything is working fine or not. If everything is fine at this stage, on this particular stage, we say it's CI, the continuous integration. That means when some developer pushes the code via the Git, so the code gets uploaded to the repository where these things are being maintained. Then pipeline gets a notification that the code repository has been updated. Please run a, what is this, a build process. If you have already enabled that, if you have not, so it will not run anything. If you have suppose enabled those things, so pipeline will capture the code again from the new repository or the like updated code. It will run the entire thing. If everything is run on, so CI gets completed. Now comes the CD part. CD is nothing but the deployment. We have to now deploy the build part to the server where we want to display the code. So the application, or the we have to deploy the application. Say suppose you have a VM. Now what CD will do? CD will carry that artifact or the build file. Now CD will connect to the, suppose you have a VM. So CD will connect to the VM first. How it's going to connect? Suppose it is a Linux, so it will do a SSH. It's connect to the SSH, finds the SSH, works very fine. Now it will do, it will go to change directory to the exact folder where we want to deploy the code. So it will change the directory. It will copy paste the things where we want to paste the file, and if it is a zip file, so we want to extract that as well, so we will put some extraction command. Okay, please extract that, and it's done, and the application will be live at your VM. This is as short as simple CI/CD pipeline. I will not add here any test case or any sonar cube or anything. It is a basic thing how CI/CD works. I hope it is like easy to understand to all, or if you have any doubt and question, please put out on chat, so I will just take it out for you all. Okay, so here I got some questions. So future of AWS and data engineering. See, AWS is, I could say, as per my knowledge, is the first cloud in the world. Okay, and it has a very major market share. So if you learn the AWS, there's so many of the companies are working with the AWS, so they will definitely hire you. But I will not suggest only like go with AWS. Rather, learn the 2 or 3 clouds at least, so that you can learn more and more, and you get to know more on those. Like you come up with Azure and AWS. So that is the best thing to like come up. Additionally, I would say learn some other applications as well. Like we have Linode, we have Vercel, we have, say suppose any hosting providers. You can take a month or 2 months hosting services as well. Like we have cPanel or something. Go with that as well. You get to know how those things works. So that is also most important. And coming back to the data engineering, I'm actually not from the data background, but yes, data engineering has a very vast like opportunity, because data is emerging right now, because every AI engineer, ML engineer needs data in order to train their modules or their instances. So it is most important, I could say. Okay, so somebody has given some AI tutorial on the above. Fine. Okay, how do you scale an app and website on the cloud? So see, if there is some solution on the, if I say that for the scaling, if I go to the suppose scale set, so sorry, scale set. So on Azure, I will definitely like come up with Azure most cases because I mostly have worked with Azure, so that's why I'm just taking Azure as an example on most cases. So on Azure virtual machine set skill set, if you go here, if you create, so you can set your rules how scaling would work. This is depends on you how you are going to work with that. If you think that I want to create a virtual machine skill set, so you can definitely scale from here. Here we you have some rules that how you're going to work, like say suppose my CPU is getting 90% for the last 5 minutes, then create a new VM set. If my CPU is getting 80% for last 3 minutes, please create a new VM set for me. So these are things you can create here. See, if you go to the configure, you can get the option that how you are going to create the scaling. See, here is the all the scaling rules are there. If you are very good in terms of networking or something you know better, so go with the load balancer. So if you go to the load balancer, you can deploy multiple virtual machines and you can balance the load from here. If you are good in Kubernetes, go with the Kubernetes services, deploy your application on the Kubernetes, and you can manage those. This is how you can create. And if you need a simple solution, go with the app services. App services is one of the best simple solution. And here you can also scale your things. Okay. So from here you get a scale out method that automatic or manual, whatever you say. So you can scale. So these are the opportunities you can opt. Fine. So let's say I'm not so good at coding. Which path should I choose in cloud? So I would definitely say come with the cloud engineer part, learn the administrator things or the sysops things. Like me, I'm also not good in coding. I don't know coding. I'm literally saying I don't know coding. Even for code, sometimes if I have to do any such coding or automation, I always prefer ChatGPT or the Gemini or those things. I don't know any coding. I'm very sorry on that. So if you want to be very good in cloud, definitely I would say learn AZ104, learn AWS CSOX administrator, learn the AWS solution architect. Definitely will get a job and you will land a very good job. See, if you want to come to cloud, you don't have to know. Sorry, you have to know the coding. That is something people says. I don't know, but other companies happens with. But in my company, we have a developer team, so developer team helps me whenever I need any like coding solutions. I don't write any code. I don't like it. At my personal suggestion, I could say. Roles for a fresher can get into what fundamentals he must and must have. Okay. As I mentioned, and I will also try to add one point that what like should be our plan. I might have here. Just let me just check. No, I don't have that text here. So I will just put that text on later on. Basically, we have to go with some roadmap. Like first we have to learn the Linux. Once we learn the Linux, go with the networking, that what networking works, and also get the fundamentals of operating system. Once these things are done, just again go with the fundamentals of the virtualization. There's a two types of virtualization, type 1 and the type 2. Okay, what is hosted virtualization, what is bare metal virtualization? Get into that, just understand how things works, then go to the container things, the Docker, then go to the Kubernetes. Once these things are getting completed, then come to the pipeline. You might choose GitLab, you might choose Jenkins, you might choose a ready-made solution which is Azure DevOps or the AWS DevOps. But my personal suggestion, if you want to learn from very scratch, go and check out Jenkins first, because when you learn from Jenkins, it is the best to know how things work. Is the best things. Okay, so that's the most I could say from the fresher side. Just learn the first the fundamentals, then go to the advanced, like then you can go with the Terraform, Ansible, then the like other pipelines, then go with these open source solutions, install some of the server at your own, install nginx, install apache tomcat, deploy some application, check it out how errors works, how to find the errors, how to find the files, how to store the SSL certificates or the what is it, the credentials in a secure manner. Just go and grab those things. Those are the very things. Please suggest free certifications if supports for Linux and DevOps Cloud. See, currently for free certification for cloud, I have only Oracle, which I just posted on my LinkedIn on very recent days. I just let you show. Just allow me 1 second. So here you have an opportunity for the free certification for now. One is the Oracle Fundamentals, Cloud Fundamentals, and another is the AI Fundamentals for the Oracle. So I will get this link for you, both the links, so you can grab those. So this is for the AI and this is for the Oracle solution. I believe this will get expired by 20th of the February. So try to grab before 20th of the February. And it is like not non-proctored examination. No one will watch you. Okay, so whatever you're doing. So it's an open book examination, but you will not be able to copy paste anything. Okay, so you can search on mobile if you think that I need some references or anything. So you can search, but I would definitely say test your knowledge because you have 15 attempts. Do not directly go on cheating, rather try at your own. Okay, give your try in a 5, 7, 6, 9, 10 attempts, no matters, but without cheating you can also pass because you have 15 total attempts to complete this examination. And if without cheating if you pass, you gain a knowledge, and if with cheating you pass, you don't gain a knowledge. So that's the basic difference, I could say. And for the Linux and DevOps certification, currently there is no particular certification is there, but yes, you can go with one solution. For the small batches, I could give you solution. Just you can follow any of these courses. This will give you free things. If you go to this, see here we have a Kubernetes thing. If you go to the English language, you will also get this thing. So as I mentioned, the zero trust you can learn from here as well. If you go for the Jenkins, you have here as well the Jenkins, cybersecurity. So many of the free certifications kind of things are there. Once you complete any of these, you will receive a Credly badge. So that is one of the fantastic thing I could say, and I would definitely recommend. So this is the link you can go on. Okay, so coming back, okay, projects to get hired in cloud role. See, I have no particular projects that I could suggest. You can definitely go with other creators like DevOps Shack is one of the popular, or the Abhishek Viramalla is one of the popular guys who are on the like YouTube is just like booming on the industry. So you can definitely follow them. They will definitely suggest you better projects. But what I would suggest, try to find the real world solution. What happens? Suppose people say they are working on a Node.js. Okay. Some people say I work on a React. Some people say I work on an AngularJS. Fine. Just go create each every language pipeline. Suppose you heard React language, fine. Go to GPT, ask for a solution that please give me a code to show hello world. That's all. I don't have any plenty solution. I don't need. Just go with the hello world. GPT will give you the code for the hello world. Go and write that hello world, deploy a pipeline, deploy and push. If it's working, you learned it. That's all. Then connect the database, then connect the other solution, then this and that, go with the advanced things. But before that, try to grab the basic to basic solutions. Don't you have to go with any projects. I have not done any such projects. Okay, but I have learned from the very basics and still learning. I would not say that I'm an expert guy, but I'm a newbie. I'm trying my best to learn more and more. I always try to learn on every day. And if you think you have a time, if you think you seriously want to become someone, I would definitely say watch YouTube video less, rather study books. Why? Because when you go to YouTube, do you pay anything? No, you don't pay anything. Rather, they earn some money from the ads you watch. But you directly, do you pay? No. In most cases, no. But sometimes some YouTubers have some membership. So if you take some membership, you can get the courses. Then you pay. But majorly we don't pay. So when you do not pay anything, you directly cannot claim, hey, you are giving me a wrong solution, or you are bound to give me the answer to my question which I asked you in a comment section. They will not give you back. But if you buy a book is written by the most books are written by the ISBN solution, like they have a certification from the ISBN. It is registered. So all the solution, all the things, whatever written on the book, it's actual and it is to the point and it is trusted. So learn the books. Go for the books because when you read books, now you get a patience. If you go to the YouTube, now you got other solution on the right hand side. You click on that and you move on. Your patience got distracted. But you on your books, you don't have other books. You have single book. Just read on, and your patience will grow up. And that is the most important thing. That's my personal suggestion. I don't know what others thinks, so that's up to you. All right. So which company hire fresher if I'm in a final year exam, and which should I go to cloud? Definitely. Definitely you can like go to any of the company which hires fresher, mostly fresher being hired by the MNCs. Okay. So you can definitely go with the MNCs like Infosys, TCS, Capgemini, these other companies are there. But if you seriously want to learn something, na, my personal suggestion would be go with the startup company because you will get plenty of accesses there, plenty of softwares are there. But in MNC, you have a boundage. Say, suppose you are an IAM role or the IAM engineer, you will get into IAM only, you will not get any other things. But if you are in a startup, or a small company, small medium company, you will get a plenty of knowledge because they have plenty of solutions. In my previous company, I had a Synology NAS. I never heard about it. I had a Fortinet firewall. I like have just heard about that solution, but I worked on that. I had a Dell ID Rack solution, which you say the Hyper-V on the Microsoft side. So we had a Dell Blade server. We use the uh, Dell ID Rack server. We had a HP ILO server. We had a solution for the tape backup. We had a antivirus for the Bit Defender, which most companies have different teams. But in small and smart startup companies, you have all those things on your hand. You learn more. That's what my suggestion says. So does project matter more or certification? See, project matter obviously matters. Certification also matters. For projects, it says ki if you copy paste, it will not matter. If you do at your own, it matters. If you just go on the Google or the YouTube, most people says I done the clone Netflix, clone YouTube. Man, didn't do anything at your own. Create a new solution at your own. Then only people say, okay, you have created your own solution, then I will borrow it. Or I will say, yes, I will vouch for it. So that's important. And certification is something which you have like worked on it, but certification is most probably is being taken as a what is it, the precious when you get a practical certification like Linux, RHCE, RHCSA. These are the practical Kubernetes, CKS. These are the practical. You don't have to write any question answers or just select on that. On other certification you can easily cheat nowadays some people take a remote on your system and like you can pass, you can give some money, you can pass. But in this real world things like the RHCSA, RHC and this, you don't have any option because they have very limited internet and those limited things. So these are the thing. So coming back here, so I already have mentioned the all the certification things. So if you have any question for the certification, so you can put on chat box. So learning resources, I have already like put it on you. Okay, on the chat box, the learning resources and the real world projects. Definitely, you can like go with the at your solution. I would definitely say try to build at your solution. If you do not have any ideas, go ask ChatGPT, give me solution. Try with the currency converter, try with the weather application, try with some basic solution and integrate that with the other solutions as well, like the Docker, then the Kubernetes, then the pipelines, then different pipelines, not only this Azure pipeline, go with Azure pipeline, go with AWS pipeline, go with GitLab, go with GitHub Actions. Whenever you write that YAML, okay, or the script for the pipeline, just upload that on your GitHub. That is for your reference. Whenever you write, whenever you study, try to write down a note. If you are on a computer, try to write down a note because that is important. If you don't write anything, you will not remember anything for longer run. That is important. On like cloud, we have a solution which I mentioned. The multi-cloud is nothing but whenever you have multiple clouds in there. Hybrid cloud, whenever you have a on-premises solution along with the cloud solution, public cloud, that becomes the hybrid cloud. AI, ML, you mostly know the artificial intelligence and the machine learning. Edge computing is nothing but, as I mentioned just before earlier, the whenever you are trying to browse the Amazon, I'm from Kolkata, the server will be request coming from Kolkata. If you're from Mumbai, Chennai, Hyderabad, your request coming from the your edge location. So that's what the edge computing. One of the example is CDN, content delivery network. Cloud security trends, like on the cloud security, we always have to take care of the security. We have to like optimize for the best to best security. That basic is the MFA should be enabled for all. We should regularly update the systems, we should regularly check for the updates, we should patch the vulnerabilities whenever we detect. We should not like violate any of our security policies although we are on IT team. These are the things basically important for us. And the cloud portfolio you can done, and I will just suggest for the resume and the LinkedIn optimization now. And for cloud interviews, I would definitely suggest, if you are getting someone who can help you with the cloud interview on TopMate, go with that. If you go with topmate.io, okay, this is the thing. Suppose I want to go with some, what is this, the mock interview. I will come up here, I will search people. If anybody is giving me any free solution or any like cheap solution, like the on the cost side, I could say, okay, so book the like a time with them, give a mock interview with them. Okay, see, here's a resume review is free. Go, go and grab. They can review your resume. So suppose I will go with this person. So I will click on here. So here he says one-on-one open source mentorship. So it's a completely free of cost. Just request a slot. It's a free. Then the project tips, it's a free. Resume review, it's a free. All the things are being free. Just go, grab. Is going to give you a great opportunity. So go with TopMate. These are the best people out there. You can definitely grab a time of them and like boom it. Okay. For resume, go with my first suggestion is first build a ATS supported resume and go to resumeworded.com. Once you visit the resumeworded.com, you can put your resume so that you can validate how your resume is scoring. So suppose I will just try to my upload my resume. So I will choose mid level. I will upload my resume. Let's see how much my resume. Let's take this one is like scoring, and same that you can also score your resume from here. Okay, it's a completely free service. and in a day you can scan like 3 4 something time you can go with. So here my resume says it's a 83 out of 100, then I have to work more so that I can achieve at least 90. So what are the things I have to fix? So here, go to my report. So here it says that I have to add some quantify impact. Quantify impact is what? So suppose I have deployed multiple cloud instances. No, I have deployed 50 plus cloud instances. I have reduced I have saved 60% of cost optimization. The percentage or the numbers should be added on most of the places. Then weak action bug. Try to understand which are the weak action bug. So we have to clear all those. So it will not give you all those things, but on the free solution, you will get some insights and you can definitely improve your resume. On the section C, it says that fix your education section, fix your skill section. So these are the things. Go Google, ChatGPT, other solution. You get an insights, you upload it. Then go to Naukri resume score. Here you come here, upload your resume. Where is my resume? So I will upload my resume this and I will check my score again. So here it says I am the top 2%. So if I have to go with the top 1%, I have to review my resume again. I have to like some good give some edit and I can grab the 1% as well. So this is what the tips for the resume and all. So if you have any more questions, I have taken extra 10 minutes, I know. So if you have any questions or any feedback for me, please share on the comment box so I can take it up.
Thank you so much, Saurav sir, for this insightful and wonderful session today. And thank you so much for taking out time on a Sunday evening.
Thank you
I
so
guess
much.
most of the questions are already being answered in the chat box already. Thank you so much,
Yes.
sir.
My pleasure. So someone is asking for my LinkedIn, so I will just put my LinkedIn profile. So you guys can connect with my LinkedIn. I mostly provide the free certification offers on my LinkedIn so that people can learn something because what I feel that education must be free. So that's the thing so that anyone can grab. If you see some Instagram videos or Facebook videos, sometimes you might see that shoes are being sold on a glass houses that's on a premium site and the books are selling on the roadside. Why? Because the book should be easier to grab rather than the shoes, because education is important, but when you get educated you can buy any shoes, Adidas, Puma, whatever, but education is the most important thing. That's what I think. That's all from my side. So if you have any questions, so please feel free to reach back to me on my LinkedIn anytime. I'm always open for you all.
Yes, thank you all for being such a wonderful audience and for this interactive session. Also, have shared the developers community's link tree, and if you want more such sessions, you can surely follow us on our Instagram and WhatsApp community. Also, we'll share the feedback form in the chat box, and you can fill it and give your feedback for this session. Whatever you felt about it, you can share it with us. Thank you so much, all. Thank you, everyone. We'll end the session now.
Sure. Thanks so much.